Hello, 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 everyone. Good day. Just allowing a moment for folks to join. Hi, everyone. Hi. Hello, everyone. Good day. Hi, everyone on Instagram. Hi, everyone on YouTube. Hi, everyone on any of the platforms and airwaves that you are all tapping into. Asheo ore yeo abora boye boshisheo. Thank you. Greeting everyone. Greeting everyone. I'll wait one more minute before we start. I have a hit list of things to discuss. So want to keep the time as efficiently utilized as possible. And I will also save this recording as well. And it will live on the FORIBALE, the experience page, so that those individuals who are joining the ritual, learning more about FORIBALE, can learn through this video as well. And you can always refer back to this video if you will be doing the global ritual to understand some of the parameters and things. So hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. I'll wait one more minute before launching into everything. So good day. And just while you're taking this moment with me to be in this energy of sitting and waiting, and just invite you to breathe, It's been a very big message and huge theme for a lot of people. Breathing. It's literally in those moments when you feel that the anxiety is too much to bear, all the information that is swirling around in light of all the events happening across our entire planet. Breathing is such a powerful instrument, such a powerful tool, such a powerful resource that we do naturally when we're not really thinking about it. But then because we're so caught up in our mind activity and everything happening, we can inhibit our breath. So just remember to breathe. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. And hello, welcome everybody. My name is Onyi Love, Felicia Richards, Oshuntayo Obatolu. Those are the names from my initiation, the last two. I go by a lot of different names depending on how you know me and what communities that we are connected through. And I am here today to be speaking about the FORIBALE global ritual that I am cultivating. It's been this ongoing ritual that I've already been in, and I am looking forward to inviting you all into it. And I call it a global ritual because anyone who is on this globe, anyone who is just part of our Earth family can participate. And regardless of how many individuals, how many members of our global community participate, we are all having an impact on everyone and everything. No matter if you will ever know about those individuals, if you know about the creatures and plants, there's hundreds and thousands and millions of species and such a variation of beings and life on this planet that we will never know about, any of us individually and even all of us collectively, but we are having an impact on all of it. Every breath you take, you're impacting. Every word you speak, you're impacting. Every thought you have, you're impacting. We are all being impacted and impacting everything. So you doing whatever work you're going to do, whether it is through this ritual, whether it is through the work that you've been doing yourself, whether it is any other work that you choose to do, that is having an impact on everything, forwards, backwards, presently. That is my perspective. So consider that perspective and what that means about how you live your lives, the things you do. For me, understanding that kind of allows for a different type of mindfulness. Not that I'm going to inhibit myself as far as, the things that bring me joy, that bring me peace. But if I recognize that, I have an impact, my presence has an impact, then that gives me a different level of just standing in my worth and value and dignity, the dignity of myself, and honoring the dignity of other beings and people. And from my perspective, I want to do those things that are aligned not just for myself, but are for the better good of all of us, because we're all in this together. So I'm going to actually continue this start with a prayer, just an intention setting to kind of connect us all in a different way as well. Prayer is a big part of the tradition that I practice, Ifa. Prayer has been part of my life since the beginning because I grew up very Christian as well. Prayer does not is not beholden to any one system or tradition. And prayer for me is a conversation with the divine within us and outside of us by all the different names that we call it. So taking this moment to breathe before this prayer, giving gratitude and thanks to our higher selves for being here. Thank you, higher selves, for being here together with each other individually, supporting ourselves and each other. Thank you for making the choice to be here with me as yourselves. And may the choices that we make support the destinies that we came here to live out, to experience, and that we all evolve as ourselves and with each other. Gratitude and thanks to our ancestors, Egun, Egungun, in the language of the Yoruba. Thank you to the ancestors, everyone that came before us on our paternal side, all of our ancestors, everything that came before us, going back to our collective, connected ancestors from who we all come. Thank you to the ancestors for the choices you made, the lives you lived, everything you did for yourselves in the communities that you were part of, on a family level, on a community level, on a national group level, on a global level. Thank you for those choices that you made to bring us here. And may the choices we make as they heal us give you the opportunity to heal, to move through whatever you needed to move through, and that you are still moving through potentially in spirit. You have that option through our lives as we be more of who we are, and carving a path and giving gratitude to our future generations who are coming, who are already here. And as we heal ourselves, we give them the opportunity to come into this place, this space, already knowing what it looks like to be whole. Gratitude to the directions, all of the directions, not just the directions that we are familiar with, but all of the directions. May we move in the direction of our preference. May we know that in whatever direction we move, we are always on our path, and we have the ability to learn, to grow, to teach, to heal. Thank you, directions. Thank you to the elements and elementals, earth, water, fire, air, ether, all the elementals, the elements, the elementals, the elemental beings reflected outside of us, within us as we are embodied. May we express those energies. May we commune with, utilize those energies with integrity, with reverence, with accuracy, with precision, knowing that we are all of it, utilizing all of it to support ourselves in our own healing, support others in their own healing. Thank you to the beings in the plant, mineral, and animal kingdoms for your reflections, for co-creating this world with us, this earth with us. May we remember ourselves by looking at you, by understanding you, knowing that we're all in this together. Thank you to this beautiful earth for holding us. From the earth we come, to the earth we are always returning. Thank you to everything outside of this earth, the cosmos, the universe, the multiverse. Thank you for being here. Thank you that we get to be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ashe, Ashe. Give me one moment. I'm going to turn off a machine in my house that is creating a sound that I don't prefer. So give me 1 second, but allow that prayer to really settle within you as you continue to stay in this space. Okay. I prefer that much better. Again, hi everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you all so much for joining, and please feel free to thanks. Feel free to share this with anyone that you feel could use just the information that's presented, regardless of whether or not they join the actual practices that I will be giving later on throughout the FORIBALE global ritual. Or if you feel, you know what, I've been talking to people who feel they need something different. They need something different. Everything that's happening is just, it's a lot, or people are still moving through grief and everything that we collectively move through throughout the pandemic, pre-pandemic. Look, humans have been on this earth for a long time doing stuff, doing a spectrum of stuff. So there's a lot that we get to reconcile, that we get to heal, that we get to integrate, that we get to transform. So I am so excited to present tools through my own practices, through the things that I have learned and that I have done with and continue to do with and for myself, to support people in continuing their own journey of wholeness, healing, remembrance. So I make sure I don't go off topic. I'm going to just share a bit about who I am for those who don't know me. So sometimes it's challenging to kind of use single words or phrases to describe who we are, but sometimes it helps people to understand, first and foremost, I'm a human being. I'm a spirit having this physical incarnation, this experience. So that's first and foremost, and that is for all of us. I am a healer, healing artist, and priestess. I am a teacher. I am one who channels energy through my voice, through my hands, through my creations, to support myself, to be in my own joy and my own peace, and to hold space for individuals to support themselves. Yes, them earrings are banging. Third Eye Boutique, thank you for the earrings. I love to adorn myself in different ways. So I am many things. We are many things. We are all multifaceted. I'm a multimodality healer, multifaceted artist, primarily working through my voice, playing some instrumentation, creating things here and there. As far as my priestesshood goes, I am an Iyalorisha, which is the simplistic description is a priestess within the Yoruba system of Ifa, Orisha veneration. So I'm a priestess of Oshun and Obatala from the Adesonya Awoyade lineage of Oderemo, Ogun State, Nigeria. And I am under the leadership and part of the Ile Orumila Afedefeyo, which is an LA-based Ifa community led by Awo Falokun Fashegun and his daughter Iya Fayomi Oshundoyi Egbe Yemi. And I see, hey, Rashi, I see some of my folks in here, part of my community. So Ifa is my grounding system and tradition, not just through my own choice to practice Ifa, but through literally my genetic and cultural heritage. I am a Yoruba woman, and I am an Igbo woman as well. And even that Igbo element of me was heavily influenced by the Yoruba, and they heavily influenced each other. So I am Yoruba through and through and through. I'm West African through and through and through, living where I live and doing what I do, coming from this body. So everything I do is Yoruba, Igbo, West African, so forth, no matter what it looks like. I am initiated and certified and attuned in a few different practices and systems. I'm going to read them so that I don't forget or mess up the names of all the different things that I'm attuned into, and I'm sharing this, and you can go to my website as well, www.onyi.love, to read more of this information so you can see it yourself. But I'm just sharing this so that you have an understanding of the different influences, the different people, the different systems, the elders that have touched my life, that have helped me cultivate the practices that I do. And whatever you are receiving from me, whatever you're taking from me that I share with you, know that there is a whole world that is connected to that, that has cultivated me. And so that genetic impact, our DNA, our genes, is not just the individuals that birthed us, that birthed those people. It's all the people we've learned from. They have impacted my DNA. And so what I share with you impacts your DNA. What you share with others impacts their DNA. So we are all impacting each other all the time. Our DNA is a combination of all the information, all the influences that we are experiencing at every single given moment. But I am a graduate of USC. I studied social science psychology. I am an integrative wellness coach. I am a Reiki master, and I was attuned by Elizabeth DeVries Ridgway, and I am part of the Ute Fleischman and William Rand lineage, practicing Usui Reiki and Karuna Reiki. I am a pure bioenergy therapist under the lineage of Zoran Hotchatzer. I am a doula certified by Hayes Hawk through her Get Rooted Doula program. So remember these names, y'all. Look up these people. If there are systems that you are interested in learning and practicing, then again, those are some of my teachers. And also, whomever you are attracted to work with, go with where your attraction is pointing you. And whether or not that's where you need to focus, at least it will open some door that perhaps leads somewhere else. So there is a spectrum of tools that we all have available to us in terms of different modalities, practices, things that are tapped into your ancestral practices, which I always recommend starting with, and things that are out there in the world for any of us to practice, as long as we go about it from a place of integrity, from a place of asking permission, from a place of understanding and awareness. So there's a lot of medicine out there, y'all, and it all works. It all works. So now that I've explained a bit of who I am, FORIBALE. So FORIBALE is a vision that I have, and I'll describe the word in a moment, but FORIBALE is a Yoruba phrase, a word, a group of words together, because Yoruba has, that we bring words together or sentences together and kind of like scrunch them into one word. Even a lot of our names are that way. But FORIBALE is in an oversimplistic description. And as I talk more about this vision and also the music that is connected to, in time, I will break down even more kind of what that is. And I will have my own elders and other teachers support in the teaching of, this philosophy. But, in a general oversimplistic description, FORIBALE is an instruction to touch your head, ori, ile, the ground. Touch your head to the ground, touch your head to the earth, as a sign of reverence, as a sign, as a greeting, as an honoring, as a welcoming of people. When an elder comes, a priest, a priestess comes, often FORIBALE, either touching your head to the earth or touching your hand to the earth, touching it to your head in the Yoruba system, in the Ifa system, in the Ifa practice, in the Orisha practice. And indigenously across the earth, indigenous peoples, because we all shared many similarities, that understanding of how sacred and important the earth is, first and foremost, the fact that we come from it and that we're literally going back to it, not just when we transition, when we pass, but literally like every moment, every skin cell that is, coming off of you, every hair that's falling off of you, it's all going back to the earth. We're always standing and walking on the earth. The earth is sacred. And so the phrase, the word, the instruction, FORIBALE, touch your head to the earth. Mo FORIBALE. Mo is the pronoun, using for me, I. Mo FORIBALE. I touch my head to the earth. So that is FORIBALE. That is the title that I have used initially. Again, this is a bigger vision that initially started through the music, started through sound as a musician, part of my gateway and the portal for me through which spirituality is expressed and shared in a very potent way through music. And so the creation of the music by through FORIBALE, the EP, a 4-track EP that I released on October 27th. That was the name that I gave that EP for various reasons, which again I will talk more about in the future. And as I was creating the music with my collaborators, I was getting the downloads and continue to get the downloads of, this is more than just the music. The music might be what opens the doors, because music has opened the doors for me in so many ways across my spiritual practice. But my spirit saying, wow, this is a bigger, bigger, bigger component. But for the music is what is kind of initiating. It's helping it birth the bigger vision. So if you have not checked out the EP FORIBALE, you should do so. And when you do this global ritual, you will be all up in the EP. So it's all good either way, but check it out. I can't speak enough about it. It hits my heart, and it came from my heart, and all the individuals that have touched it, there is their heart energy in that music as well. Thank you so much, Rashi. I love the conversations we've had about it, and so I'm so grateful that you feel a bit of what I feel around this music. So, FORIBALE, touch your head to the earth. This EP called FORIBALE, and so to speak about the global ritual is what was coming to me as part of what needed to come with this music, but also what is the entire experience, because it's all a ritual. I live my life as ritual. It was coming to me that I was being given the opportunity to share this music, share this philosophy, share this vision in a ritualistic framework, or through utilizing ritual. And I will actually read, and I did a post a few days ago about FORIBALE, about FORIBALE and ritual, but I'm going to read this now, which is, part of what my post contained, this language, but a little bit more about ritual, just so you understand, because I think the word ritual in some senses is oversimplified or is connected to routine, which there are overlaps. Ritual is demonized because of the demonization of, in particular, indigenous systems, in particular, African indigenous systems, in particular, anything African. So I am giving you a description about ritual from my understanding, from a bit of my research, and I'm going to read to you an excerpt from an ongoing ritual performance and storytelling that I've been doing since 2017 called A Tale of 900 Crow Feathers, The Transformative Power of Sacred Ritual, to just give you my perspective and understanding and philosophy around what ritual is, so you understand that, and you get to choose whether or not you engage in this or not. It's all good. But I will read this for you to understand the framework that I'm coming from. So what is ritual? Standard dictionaries associate it with religion, social customs, normal protocol. In his work, Initiation Rites and Rituals in African Cosmology, Kenyan professor of humanities Paul Kialo writes, the word ritual refers to symbolic action, which focus a certain kind of power through the use of natural signs and symbols. Jonathan Z. Smith, American historian of religion, said, ritual is, above all, an assertion of difference. Religious scholar Catherine Bell expanded upon this, saying, ritualization is a way of acting that specifically establishes a privileged contrast, differentiating itself as more powerful or important. To me, it's not what you do that determines ritual, it's how. With what intention, with what energy. For me, ritual is engaging in any set of actions with mindfulness for the purpose of creating a framework, a structure that holds space for illumination to occur, for light, insight, information to ground itself, to be reflected, and thus create reflections that remind me of who I am, reflections that remind my consciousness of what it knows, but has forgotten or needs reiterated. The more I repeat these actions, the more fortified the framework becomes, and thus more energy can be focused as it comes through. And that repetition is very, very powerful. Anytime you repeat things from that place of mindfulness, from that place of asserting or inserting a difference, that is where a lot of this magic occurs. So I'll give you a simple kind of distinction between routine and ritual. Again, something that is a routine can become a ritual. Something that you do in a ritual sense can become routine, depending on, again, the intention and the energy with which you do it. So for example, brushing your teeth, routine. Most people would probably wake up, go to bed, in between meals. That's just the routine that you have. Okay, brush my teeth, clean my teeth. You're doing it for a purpose to clean your teeth, but it's become so much a routine that's part of your life that you do it without even thinking. You probably do it while you're doing other things and still getting the job done because that is the routine. Now, take the act of brushing your teeth and then insert the idea of, okay, as I brush my teeth, because my bones represent this energy of ancientness, represent the energy of structure, represent the energy of something that I have developed over a long period of time that stays with me for a long period of time, so that as I am brushing my teeth in this moment and paying attention to every single tooth that I'm brushing in a certain way, as I'm cleaning the debris and the dirt off of my teeth, I am also asking my consciousness to clear any debris, to clear anything that is not mine, to clear anything that has attached itself to me, to break through any attachments that I'm holding on to across not only my own life, but also generationally, ancestrally, and cleaning it for my future generations so that they come in without any of this debris. As I brush my teeth, as I clean the bones that are within my mouth, the area from which my voice comes, from which I'm speaking my truth, I'm clearing from my consciousness whatever doesn't belong to me so that I can convey my truth from a place of clarity. For me, that's what makes it a ritual. Because you're inserting something that is different than just, I'm cleaning my teeth, to, oh, I'm using this specific simple action to have a ripple effect across multiple elements of not just my own being, but my ancestors, my future generations, across multiple dimensions, different versions of myself. So this act is asserting difference. To me, that is what makes it ritual. You can take something very simple, something you do on a daily basis that you don't even think about, and you then insert the intention and awareness of the larger impact that that thing is or actually already having. Really, it is already having the impact. Everything is happening here and now, all of it. It's just a matter of, where is your attention focused? Are you just focused on kind of the simple, on the surface act? Or are you aware of now the bigger impact that this thing has? So that to me is ritual. So if you choose to go about doing this global ritual through the FORIBALE experience, this is what we are tapping into for ourselves, for our ancestors, for our future generations, for presently living human beings now that are moving through all the things they're moving through, positive to negative and everything in between. Think about everything that is happening right now that we're focused on, because a lot is happening that we are not focused on for various reasons. Think about that, and think about how your ritual practice supports not just you, and you don't even have to say, oh, I'm doing this for the world. You do it for yourself and you're impacting the world. You're impacting the world. Again, like I said before, and hello, welcome to everyone that is joining, and you can rewatch this because I will save it on the FORIBALE, the experience page. Make sure you're following it. Everything we're doing is impacting everything. The simple actions you take has an impact on everybody, everything on this planet, everything outside of this planet. The infinite expressions of life, you have an impact. We are tapping into that level of awareness through this global ritual of FORIBALE. So that is ritual. So throughout the global ritual experience, I will be giving rituals, which I'm not going to go into what rituals I'm giving now, but I will be giving rituals for you to do on a periodic basis that can look like every day, It can look like every other day. It can look like a certain period of time. I'm not giving a specific time frame to it because I want to allow whatever the energy I feel as far as, okay, this was just a 1 day thing for whatever reason. Not that you have to take 1 day. If I give a ritual that's like, oh, I need to sit with this for a month, you do that. You take the time that you need. And if you're like, ooh, did that and that, like, whew, that was quick. Okay, next, do it. If I give a ritual and you're like, that doesn't really apply to me, you don't need to do it. But if you know it applies for someone, because y'all had a conversation the other day and you're like, oh, wait, that's so crazy. I just had a conversation about this thing. Share it with people. So you participating in this ritual doesn't just look like you doing the things themselves. It looks like you also holding space for the possibility that anyone you're connected to may benefit from it. So sharing it as part of the ritual, holding space for people conducting the ritual, and I'll have different ways that you can kind of, indicate and set an intention in a visible but anonymous way, or you can choose to not be anonymous and to allow people to see who you are so that they know that, oh, this person's doing it as well. Let me hold space for them. Or that person is doing it and you want to hold space for them. So there will be different ways for you to engage with this global ritual that feel good for you. And if it feels good to be like, I'm good, I'm out, that is your ritual called peace out, because you get to leave spaces and you get to leave things that you feel are not in line with you. And that is your power. That is your permission. That is your right. So what this ritual is not, and I want to make sure I'm clear about this because I did describe myself in the beginning as a Iyalo Orisha, so I'm an Orisha priestess, is these are not Ifa rituals. These are not Orisha rituals. These are practices that are coming from my own consciousness. Now, some aspects may have been inspired by something else. A portion of it, I was like, oh, they did that. How do I take that same item that they worked with that is connected to all of us, that, is general, that is earth-based, and then create something for myself that I want to do or that I want to share? If for whatever reason there is something in a specific format and structure that I'm like, ooh, that came from someone else or somewhere else, but I feel like it would be important to use, I will ask permission of that person or that system, tell them what I'm doing to bring it to you, and or I will invite that person, hey, can you, it should come from you. Can you, express this or share this with people and ensure that the proper people are tagged or asked permission of, are referenced in some way. If again, if what is being utilized is looking like their stuff. Now, if I come to something on my own and you're like, oh, that sounds familiar, let me know. If you're like, oh my God, that's exactly what they did. Because if I didn't know that was the case, then I will then consider, what do I need to do in order to ensure that, things are proper and permission was asked if for whatever reason it was influenced. But what I also do know is that a lot of us are having the same thoughts at the same time or in different timelines, and we've never encountered each other. So I'm giving and holding space for that as well. But I'm also knowing that humans be doing what they be doing, and they imagine that things can just be freely taken and not credited. So I'm holding space and awareness of all of that so that I can convey this, I can share this from a place that has integrity to the best that I can. That is how I operate. That is how I live my life. But again, these are not Ifa rituals. These are not Orisha rituals. These are intuitive-based rituals based on my understanding, based on my training, based on my inspiration, based on what I tap into on an ancestral level, on an indigenous earth level, on an elemental level, and so forth. If you're looking for Orisha and Ifa rituals, you go to a Babalawo, go to Ifa. I can recommend folks for you. I will not be the one to give you an Ifa ritual, but I can give you intuitive-based rituals coming from a person that is connected to and works with the Orisha, coming from a person that is connected to and initiated into the system, coming from a person that understands spirit from my specific perspective. Anyone have any questions so far? Are we all good? Okay. Preparation. So For those of you who already follow me, who are already following the FORIBALE, the experience page, if you're not, I ask that you do. I recommend that you do. It helps me out with the algorithms and the numbers and the things. But I've already done a couple posts where I gave questions for you to start preparing. Those are big questions already. I will repeat those questions now. And I will also give you other things you can do to prepare to do this ritual that I recommend you do. And or, again, because you are sovereign, you get to choose what it is you do. Even if you don't do these specific practices, again, which I encourage you to do, because I'm the one cultivating this. So these are the things that are coming to me to have you do. If you're like, no, I don't really, that's not aligned, but I really want to be part of this ritual, at least take the energy of the preparatory steps that I'm giving you to tap into your own level of preparation that brings you to the state that you need to be in order to do this ritual. So the questions that I posed, and what I say is that if you're not willing to ask these questions or take the time, or you feel like it's too much, then I'd venture to say, and I'm happy to stand corrected, this ritual is not for you. And that is totally okay, because what did I say before? There's a spectrum of medicine out there. This doesn't have to be for you. There are so many other things, so many other permission slips, so many other systems, so many other practitioners that you can find on social media, outside of social media, throughout the world, that are presenting different things for you to take advantage of that may be aligned. So you don't have to insist that this is aligned for you. But what I do ask is that if you're going to do this, do it. Like, don't half-ass it. Do it. Put your chest into it, put your whole body into it to do it, so that you experience the benefit of it. So the two questions that I posed for folks, one, and this is a question that one of my teachers asked me, a man named Daryl Anka, who channels an energy entity called Bashar. Who do you prefer to be? That is a question. Who do you prefer to be? And if you want to already tap into the energy of this ritual now, if you want to type that into the chat, you're more than welcome to do it. If you want to just you sit with it, journal about it, have conversations with people about it, who do you prefer to be? And this question came during a session with him, and I was sharing some things about my practice and the things that I do and things that come up for me. And I was being like cutesy and funny, and I was inspired by a question a child had asked him in the past, because they were like, Bashar, do you have a question for me? So I was like, oh, that's so cute. I was like, Bashar, do you have a question for me? And he said, who do you prefer to be? And that question, it hit my heart so deeply, I just started weeping. I didn't expect it. And what was coming up were the things that I imagined I didn't have permission to be. So I share that question with you as one of the preparatory questions. If you're going to do this ritual, who do you prefer to be? Ask yourself this. Self, authentic, truest self, the self that I came here to be, regardless of the personality that I express, regardless of how people perceive me or what they project onto me. Who do I prefer to be? That's question number one, prep question number one. Prep question number two, and again, if you're not willing to answer this question, this ritual, from my perspective, is not for you. These rituals are not for you. Number two, what am I ready and willing to surrender, sacrifice, and transform? Ask yourself that question. And be very clear, be honest. Because a lot of people imagine that they want to heal from things, but they don't. They really don't. And a lot of people imagine that they're healing from something or around something looks a certain way, and then they feel a way when the thing still stays, because they're not actually recognizing that what needed to be healed was something else, so that they could actually be with the thing that they imagined they wanted gone. So yes, I will repeat number two. What am I ready and willing to surrender, sacrifice, integrate, transform. And I'll pose these questions again when I upload this video, and also the questions are on other posts that I've done. One of the posts where I'm talking about the ritual where I'm in with some mountains and a valley, the questions are there as well. What am I ready and willing to surrender, sacrifice, integrate, or transform? What are you ready? Is it your connection to your trauma? Is it the belief that you are not enough? Is it the belief that other people don't support you? I'm just throwing out examples, and if they resonate with you, cool. But if they trigger the recognition of other things that you're ready to surrender, sacrifice, integrate, transform. And I'll specify, and I'll go a little bit deeper into a couple of these words that I used. Sacrifice. A lot of times people reduce the word sacrifice to just giving something up. Oh, I'm going to sacrifice this. I'm going to give up this. I'm going to stop smoking, stop doing this, which, yes, that's kind of one layer of it. But the word sacrifice, the root word, is to make sacred. And I don't have the exact etymology in front of me right now, like all the Proto-European, Proto-Indo. But I know that the word is to make sacred. What are you willing to make sacred as part of your practice of becoming more of who you are? So let's say we take the idea of giving up smoking. You're saying, I'm willing to make my body so sacred that I'm not going to allow the smoke and into my lungs because my body's sacred. That's one example. Whether or not that relates to you, leave it, take it or leave it. But what am I willing to make sacred? Surrender. To me, the surrender is the letting go. And again, my teacher, Bashar, gave a different perspective about surrendering that I was like, oh, that's so interesting. And I've carried that with me for a long time. Surrendering, because a lot of people feel that surrendering is letting go of control, because we're control freaks. We need a control, and because we don't trust. Surrender, he says, is not surrendering the control you have. It's surrendering into. He says it's not surrendering control. It's surrendering to the control or command you already have. We are in such command of our existence. We have a level of control in the sense of we know what to do. Inherently, our bodies know what to do. Our intellects know what to do when we give ourselves what we need. But because we've forgotten that, because we have this level of anxiety that we operate from, we feel the need to enforce other people to buy into stuff because we don't imagine that we have command. So are you willing to surrender to who you are in order to be more of who you are? Integrate. I use integrate instead of let go, which, there's a letting go that is also a part of these practices, a part of the healing. But integration, people have said this to me before when I've used the word, oh, let go of this. They're like, well, actually, let's integrate it. And I was like, oh, okay. I see the purpose of using the terms let go, but I also understand the purpose of integrate. Because oftentimes we're like, I want to let go of this. I want to let go of this. I want to let go of that, because we don't want it anymore. Like there's things that occur for us, emotions, experiences, relationships. And we're like, I want to let it go, but it keeps coming back. But I don't want to let it go. It keeps coming back. I want to let it. The work is to integrate it. Look at it, recognize it, see what's coming up for you about it, integrate it. Now, to integrate doesn't mean you're going to have to do the thing and integration is like, okay, I see the validity of this thing and why it showed up. I'm going to take it into myself, knowing that myself is going to let go of what I don't need, because our bodies do that. When our bodies are functioning in the ways that our bodies came to function, they let go. If we have assistance in the functioning because for whatever reason any of the organs are not able to, then we have the tools and the technology to support us in that. But we have systems in place, or can create systems in place that let go of the things we don't need. When we eat food and we're taking it in to integrate, your body doesn't just, oh, I keep all of it and that's it. No, you take what it needs and naturally lets go of the rest. That is a part of the integration. So again, that second question to prepare for this global ritual, What am I ready and willing to surrender, sacrifice, integrate, transform? And the first question I'll repeat one more time, but again, I will write this when I post this video, is who do you prefer to be, or who do I prefer to be? Okay, those are the questions to prepare you to start bringing to the surface the recognitions you're having as to what at this time in your life is needing to shift, and that these rituals can support. Other things to do to prepare: treat your body well. This physical vessel, we have such a sometimes detached way of experiencing our bodies, thinking about our bodies. There's been such a negation of the body for a long time, which is evidence through the ways that we talk about the body, the things we do to the body, not from excitement, but from anxiety. So part of the ritual is really deepening into starting to embody yourself in a different way. And what that looks like is taking care of your body. Drink enough water for yourself. If whatever access you have to the cleanest source of water, it could be filtered water. Doesn't matter. Boil the water. However you can, what's the cleanest way, your spirit knows. The levels of access that people have for various reasons is because of what humanity has created, as far as access, as far as hierarchy, as far as all the different things. And spirit sees your intention. Do the best you can with what you have. Drink a lot of water, eat the best you can for yourself. I always recommend eat as fresh for yourself, as clean for yourself. And eat grounding things. Whatever sources of food that contain the richest source of nutrients for yourself, wherever that comes from, however that comes, do that. Preparing and throughout this practice, listen to soothing music. The music of FORIBALE will be included in this, but also have your own set of music that you listen to that puts you into a generative state, puts you into a relaxed and easeful state. Music, sonic vibration is very powerful. Enjoy or do joyful movement, whatever that is for you. If that looks like going to the gym and using the machines, do that. But get honest about that. If that is what you prefer to do, dance. Move around. If you feel like you don't know how to dance, I don't care, do this. And you're like, ooh, that feels good. Okay, I just did that. Ooh, that feels really good. I'm gonna do it a few more. Do movement. Move your body, move the body. Do that. Breathe. Breathe well for yourself. That can literally just look like, oh, I noticed that I hold my breath a lot, so stop. That could look like learning different breathing techniques, taking breathwork classes, just being mindful of your breath, returning to that natural, easeful breath, that generative breath for yourself. Because again, we've just been taught to hold our breaths. When we are in an anxious state, or we hold our breaths. So breathe. Make sure that you're practicing breathing or returning to your steady, easeful breath. I suggest wear clothing that is comfortable for you, that doesn't restrict you, that doesn't feel good for you. Clothing, asho, cloth, asho, the word in Yoruba for cloth or clothing, is powerful, has energy. Be mindful of the things that you wear. What energetic state is that putting you into? What energetic state is that reflecting outside of you that then you're attracting that? We're attracting things all the time. In my tradition, we wear a lot of white for specific rituals and ceremonies. Depending on the orisha that you're initiated into, you might wear or have to avoid certain colors. Again, the frequency of colors is not a bad, wrong, or evil. It's what is the vibration of the color, and is that aligned for you or not? In general or in specific times, consider what clothing, what colors make you feel a certain way, and then be mindful of that. I always say, hey, I wear a lot of white. White reflects a lot of energy. This color white. The white light is the spectrum of all the colors. So even though it doesn't have color, it contains all the colors. So it's this interesting paradox. So If you want to wear a lot of white, see how that feels. If you want to wear white on certain days consistently, see how that feels. Or whatever color for you makes sense. Take breaks from electronic devices, whether that's your phone, your computer, whether that's unplugging things once a week and you're just like, I'm going to unplug, whether that's turning off social media for certain hours or certain days, whether it's not looking at specific accounts because just that energy is just not aligned for you. Just take electronic breaks whenever you can and just see how that feels. Again, I'm going through a list of other ways to prep in addition to the questions that I provided, and I will list this out with the video. And the final step that I have here, and again, whatever you're inspired to do by hearing these preparatory steps on your own, do it. See the beauty and lesson in everything. And for some, that may be the most challenging because in light of a lot of the things that human beings do to each other that just are very ugly, negate each other, the spectrum of negation from what we consider little infractions to taking people's lives, but it's all negative behavior. What lesson can we see from that? What beauty can we extract from that? Even if the beauty is, ooh, I've seen very clear reflections of how I do not prefer to be, that is giving me the ability to choose what I prefer to do and who I prefer to be. That's a beautiful lesson from tragedy. So extract the sweetness from every situation and recognize that even as these negative things are happening, there is beauty everywhere. We can get so singularly focused on things that we forget that there's a whole spectrum of life being lived on various levels. So I recommend that as preparation. Other things to prepare and to kind of have ready. So, I gave the 2 questions before. I gave you specific things as far as ways to take care of your body. And then the third set of things that I will say is, if you are going to be doing this ritual, or if you're going to be doing any other type of work, anything that you see, again, the people tapping into their spirituality or different religions or different things, it's increasing and increasing because we've been learning throughout the pandemic, we've been learning throughout this time that just what we've been taught is what it is, and all the things we're like, wow, we need something different. But you got to take care of yourselves. The portals that you're opening, they're very powerful. And depending on your belief system, you may or may not be tapping into things that can feel overwhelming to you. And again, even that can be an idea. You have to check your belief systems as well. But I recommend for you to have your care team and your toolbox ready, handy, available. So know what your self-care practices are, or create some if you don't have any. And that can be a spectrum of things, looking like sleep, take a nap, go for a walk, go to the beach. Don't talk to this person, talk to that person. Have your list of things already set so that as you're doing these rituals, if things come up, then you already have your things to go to that help you process it. So again, have that ready. So that looks like your self-care practices. That looks like your practitioners that you work with that support you, whether it's your priest, your priestess, across whatever tradition you practice, your shaman, your medicine person, your spiritual doula, your therapist, your psychotherapist, your counselor, your Reiki practitioner, your acupuncturist, your chiropractor. I may have said chiropractor already, but who are the different practitioners? Your general practitioner, your doctor. Have your SWAT team, your list of people that you go to so that as things come up, you have people to support you. If you don't have any, start creating some. Ask around. You Google, the great tool. Your friends are great tools. Hey, do you have a therapist? Who do you go to? Who do you like? If you're working with a therapist, let them know, hey, I'm going to be embarking on this global ritual, and I think things might come up for me, and I'd like to be able to process some of those things with you. Keep them abreast of the things you're doing so you have the support you need. And for some people, if you feel like I'm good, I am my support system, if that's truly the case, then you're good. We're all good with whatever it is that we have access to and that we're utilizing to support ourselves. Have your set of books, written resources, other places that you go to in order to see written information. If for you the written word is very informative and you like to look up things, have that. You like to watch videos, again, listen to music. Have your the idea is have your toolbox ready so that as things come up, but you're not having to like search because you're like, oh my God, I'm processing this thing. It's like, oh, I can just call this person. Oh, I'm going to my therapy session tomorrow. I can write this down and talk about it. Oh, I can literally just take a walk around my yard. Have that ready and consider other ways that maybe you hadn't considered as far as specific tools that can be a support to you. So the final thing that I'm going to end with before closing and asking if anyone has any questions is the things that I ask of you if you are going to be embarking on this ritual. Set the intention. Take this seriously. You know, I was guided specifically to present this, at least in the initial form, through social media. And sometimes, many times, many folks be acting a hot mess on social media. Imagine things are free for all. Imagine things are like airy fairy and da 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 da. And I get that because that's how many people approach it. But I am not the one. I am not the one. From a song Shira, a friend of mine, did in the past. I'm not the one. Everything that I do is intentional. And even if for whatever reason something happens and it wasn't, like I will go back and like correct it and fix it. And that's part of my intentionality. Take it seriously. Some folks might be like, oh, whatever, like this on social media. I'm like, or so you thought. The things that I give people are coming from a very, very intentional place. Intentionally from an intellectual, mental place, intentional from a heart space, intentional from a spiritual space. So set the intention. If you want to do this global ritual, FORIBALE, with the intention that it has been created with, you match that with your intentionality. And if you're not, don't do it. And I'm happy to say that. And don't do it. Do something else. There's many other things out there. Do something else. If you're not ready for this, it ain't gonna help you, and you might hurt yourself. Be intentional. Follow through. Follow through. And sometimes the follow through can be like, you know what, I started this ritual. I thought it was gonna be really helpful. As I was getting into it, I decided, you know what, I don't need this. So then the follow through is like, now I'm going to end this ritual, but I'm grateful that I was able to recognize that. And maybe that's literally all you needed. So follow through, not just for this ritual, if you decide to go through it and be with it for the long haul, even if that looks like you not only doing it for yourself, but sharing it with others, cool. But if that looks like, okay, now I'm done. It is what it is, and set that intention. What I do ask, and this is, you don't have to do this, but it helps me. Share this with people. Share it with people who you feel could use it, who you feel are going to set the intention, who you feel are going to do all the things that I've shared earlier in the video. Watch the video if you come in and later. Hi, everyone. Hello, welcome. Share it with others. Those who need it. It may help them. It helps me with the algorithms and the numbers and the visibility. It helps. Share. Like and comment. Support engagement with the numbers, because we in these social media systems, so that does help me. If you feel inspired to give as support for the work that I'm doing, that I receive it and I'm grateful for it. That could look like purchasing the album. It's on Bandcamp. That could look like playing it if you're not able to purchase it, playing it, sharing it, you know, again, in other ways, making it visible. It could look like sending some other donation or gift, whatever. It can look a lot of different ways, but if there is something that you feel in your gratitude, you really want to share and support and help me, whatever ways you can see that you can do that, I appreciate it so much. What I ask of you too is to not duplicate this work without permission, without referencing me in some way. Again, we had this talk earlier about what I will do if I'm sharing things that others have given me, or or bringing them, like bring you, like talk. So if you are so inspired by this and you're like, oh my God, I want to ask my permission, bring me along, include me in some way. Again, folks be a hot mess on social media. They feel they can just take things, and do not be the one. Because if you are doing this ritual that I'm presenting and you gonna do that, yeah, forget about whether I see you or not doing it. I like call you out. I don't have time for that. But trust that my spirits, my ancestors, Ogun, all the energies that I work with, you're gonna have to deal with them. And I don't think you want to go there personally. This is from my perspective. Last but not least is have fun with this. Spirituality from my perspective, and I was talking with someone about this, I have a great time in my spirituality. Yes, stuff can come up and I can be like, oh my God, but I have a great time. And when I approach my practices, when I approach my life in general, to me, life is spirituality. We're spirits having a physical existence and experience. So everything is a part of our spiritual path. To me, have fun. Have fun. See the beauty. Be in your joy. Be at peace. So, are there any questions before? I think I covered everything. That's a great thing about writing notes. Any questions? Any concerns? Welcome, 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 everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Any questions before I close out with an ending prayer? Thanks for joining, everyone. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited. As far as its start, again, I am taking my hits from spirit about when to start this. Could be tomorrow, could be in the next week. Make sure you're following FORIBALE, the Experience It page. Follow me as well. So in case you missed something from FORIBALE, if I share about it on my page, you see it. Share this with people so that once it does start, turn on your notifications, because I don't like to be reminding people 10 million times. Turn on your notifications so that you see when it starts. Check in so that you see when it starts. And then go about it. Excited. Ooh, okay. We're going to close. Everyone take a deep breath in. And exhale. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. One more deep breath in. And exhale. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who joined. Thank you to your higher selves, our higher selves, for being here together, for incarnating on this earth together as we are, in the spaces where we are, with all the things happening as they are. We chose to do so specifically, purposefully, for the intention of growing together and individually. So thank you all for being here with me. I'm grateful to be here with you. Thanking our ancestors, thanking Egun for the lives you lived, everything you did to bring us here. The spectrum of choices you made, because it provided us with information that we get to continue, expand upon, perpetuate, or transform, integrate, heal. As we heal ourselves, we heal you, give you the opportunity to heal, ancestors, and we carve a path of wholeness for future generations so that they have a reflection and know nothing else. Thank you to the directions. May we move in the direction of our preference, even if it looks a certain way that may rub our minds a certain way, that may rub others a certain way. But if it is aligned with our joy, with our peace, with our integrity, may we have the courage to move in that direction, in whatever direction that looks, knowing that in any direction, we are always on our path. So thank you to the directions and everything you teach us, that we learn, that we teach within those directions. Thank you to the elements and elementals within us, outside of us: earth, fire, water, air, ether, all the elemental beings, however they express themselves outside of us, whether or not we see them with our physical eyes, and how we are inspired by them and how we resonate with them within us. May we act from whatever element energy that we need to at any given moment with integrity. Gratitude to the beings in the plant, mineral, and animal kingdoms. Thank you for being here with us and being reflections of what it looks like to just be who and what you are. Period. May we do the same. Gratitude to this planet, Earth, Aye, Tierra, Ter, Pachamama, all the different names that we know you as, and all the names that we will never know. Thank you for holding space for our lives and all of our experiences. May we take care of you as well as, if not better than how you take care of us. Thank you to everything outside of this earth, all the celestial beings. Thank you, the universe, the multiverse, all the verses across all dimensions, across time. Time doesn't exist. The infinite amount of all there is. Gratitude for the opportunity to be here and be part of the puzzle of existence. Without any one of us, without any one of our experiences, without any one of our perspectives, all that is wouldn't be all it is. So gratitude to all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And hi to everyone just joining as we are ending. And I will stay for one moment. If anyone has any questions, has any reflections, has any thoughts. Again, this was a discussion about FORIBALE, the global ritual. And I will post this. So it is recorded. It is recorded. I will post a recording on perhaps both my page and the FORIBALE page if I'm able to. But if at the very least, I will post it wherever it can be posted. So that you can watch it, you can be inspired by it, you can know what to expect and how to prepare for this global ritual through the work of FORIBALE. And please share with others. Please share with others. So we'll stay for 1 minute for any questions. Oh, sorry you missed. It's okay. No need to be sorry. You got what you needed in this amount of time in the here and now, and you can go back and watch the video. So yes, I will be saving it. So, well, thank you, everyone, for joining, and may you have a blessed day. However you choose to spend your day, whatever time of day it is for you, where you are. And I look forward to holding space for whatever there is to hold space for through this work. Ashe. Thank you.